Good day, everyone. This is Rich with Ticketsto.org, and it's 9:30 a.m. December 27th, 2023. And in today's video, we're going to go over a nice matchup between the Bucks and the Nets in New York. And in this video, we're going to look at some last-minute tickets. This is going to be like a three-part one video scenario, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video, and share the video. So I'm going to break down a couple sections of the Barclays Center and see if we're noticing any deals that appear throughout the day. Now the game is tonight at 7:30. You can see it right here, and it's December 27th, and it's December 27th down here on my clock. So throughout the day, I will take probably 3 screenshots, or I shouldn't say screenshots. We'll go through each the seating chart and see if we can find some deals at SeatGeek. You can see this in the description below. I have a couple links down there. You can get a review on SeatGeek and how I feel about them. And there's more information to be had in the ticket marketplace if you are interested. So let's get into it because I don't want to make this too long for each segment. And what I'll do is I'll look at price breaks. Things to look for when looking for last minute tickets. Not the easiest thing to do. You got to have a little bit more of a gamble mentality. You might get left out with either really bad seats or the prices might go up at the last second because depending on who is selling the tickets, they might be the ones going to the game and then decide to try to sell it at a higher price and then really raise it up, and then you might get stuck with those tickets, and they're fine with that because they'll just deliver them to you and won't go to that game and make a little bit of money on their tickets. But in a lot of cases, there are a bunch of tickets available. There's 362 listings. So if we average, see 2 to 4. So if we average between, 2 to 4 tickets per 362 listings, we're talking anywhere between maybe 2,000 tickets, we'll call it, that are available on the SeatGeek platform. Individual tickets. I'm not talking about actual listings because you can see 2, 4, you can see 1 through 8, and the prices are all over the place. So again, let's get into it. I'm going to focus on 4 sections today. I went ahead and looked at them real quick. We're going to look at some VIP sections, and we're going to look at some one upper deck section. So we're going to do the floor here. Now, again, when you see floor, they have these seats here with the players' benches. These are those main seats, and they are going to be really hard to find on the reseller marketplace. The floor seats at the Barclays are just past that and still an amazing view, but they're not what you think of when you think of courtside seats and you're sitting next to some celebrity or some billionaire or whatever. These are one step back on the floor. They call them floor because you are on the floor, but you're not actually on the court. That's why it's called courtside versus floor. And so I'm going to look at this section here. It's called floor 24. And as you can see, it's 440, 44, 55, 3404, and it goes up, and then 33 and 39, 2147 for these. And if you notice the difference between this one, 4455 and 2147, that's $2,000. I mean, that's a whole, or even more. I mean, that's a lot of money difference between 4 rows in the floor sections. So, I mean, if money's not a problem with you, then yeah, sure, go with the AA row. But if you want to save like $2,000 a ticket, I mean, you can go back 3 rows, pretty much the same view, but consider that as a potential savings if you're looking to do a floor style Nets game against the Bucks, by the way, if I didn't say that already. So let's go to VIP 8. So when I come back later, we'll look at these prices again. I don't want to bring too many different seats into this video because it can get a little confusing. But as you can see, we got 440, 455, 3404, and I'll put in the next video or the next section. I'll have a little image that will be up showing us all the different prices that were happening at 9:30 a.m. Let's go up to this section here. There's just a few seats here in the VIP 8 row 1, 1196. There's no seats in row 2, so we'll go to 1143 and then a drop off of 988. There's really no drop off from here, row 1 to row 3, so you might as well just go with row 1 if the money is there. 988, it's a little bit of savings, but nothing significant either. So that shows you those. And again, I'll have the those later on today. Because this is what it's last minute is also considered like day of. You can go last minute before tip off, but we're going to go as much as I can get through today, throughout the day, and as close as I can to tip off. So in section 1, we got row A, 668. It's a little pricey, 692, which is way more. But look at the drop off to row C, 372. So that's $300 right there. Just to go 2 rows back, and then 365 and 431, which is a little bit high. So those ones are interesting, but as you can see, the deals right here at 372, half the cost of row A. Yeah, who doesn't want to be on the front row? But sometimes 2 rows back is pretty good, just as good. I'm not going to look at visuals or what the actual views are going to be like, but I think you'll get the point of just pricing. We're just focusing on ticket pricing, last minute, aka day of the game. And the last section we're going at is 210. I think it was up here. Yeah, I just took 3 rows in this section. So 246, and we have these sections up here. I can just scroll through this. I'm not going to go through it. You can see average price is like 150 to 180. But down here, 246, row 1, right? And then 195. So that's a good drop off there to row 3. And a decent drop off to 180. So from 246 to 180, we're talking about $60, $80. That's a good price point. Again, go to row 4 instead of row 1. Obviously these are the most coveted seats. Row 1 across this arena. But again, the price savings are going a row or 2 back, and even a section or 2 over. So we will come back later today. Hopefully, I would say midday, 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock. See where the price points are that we just discussed. See if they went down, see if they went up. That's a chance. So as tickets get sold, prices have a tendency to go up. And, the supply and demand. If there's less demand or less supply, then the prices are going to go up. So we'll come back. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, it's almost 2 p.m. So we did our first video at 9:30. So let's check out and see what kind of changes have taken place in the different sections we were looking at earlier. Okay, so if you notice here, 319, I'm going to refresh actually. 303. So when we started at 9:30, there was 362 listings for the same game. And so I'm assuming some of the tickets we had listed in our original group are either gone, have reduced in price, or have gone up significantly, because we've seen a lot of sales in the last few hours. So anyway, let's dig in. We'll go to our floor seats to start. Okay, so floor BB, so the AA seats are sold. They were originally at $44.55. I'm looking at my other screen. And then the BB, $34.04, remains the same price. The CC was $29.01 now. It was originally $33.39. So that's a $400 savings right there from if you had bought it earlier. And then DD was $21.47, and now it's $18.66. So that's another $300 or so. Definitely significant savings had you waited. You missed out on the AA, but like we said earlier, go a row back or 2 and you can save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. This seat at 9:30 a.m. at AA was $44.55, and now this is $18.66. So someone paid up pretty high. They may not have paid $44.55, but they definitely paid up. Okay, so let's go to VIP. I think it was over here. Yep. Row 1, $11.96. It's gone, sold. Row 3 is still there, $9.93. It's currently $9.93, and it was $11.43. So that's reduced pretty good. Over $100. So that's pretty nice. And then row 4, $8.59, and it was $9.88. So we're seeing big drops here. You see the price change from the morning. We're only talking, 5 hours? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. not that long ago, the prices were significantly higher. Okay, let's go to section 1. I believe it was over here. 882 now. It was 668, so it went up. Okay, so here's a scenario where it's going up. They see listings are going off the board, and they're raising the price. Row 2, 692 is the same. 412, it went up. Was 372. In row D, 365, and it's 405. And the last one's 431, and that remains the same. So in this section, we're not seeing anything good. We're seeing pretty much the same or higher. But these can change at the last time. We'll do again at like 6:30. And we'll see what that turns out to be. Okay, so the last section is 210. I think it was up here. Okay. Row 1, gone. Row 3, still here. 217 was 195. So they raised it because row 1 is gone. So they raised their price. And row 4 is 180. And it's now 321. So they almost nearly doubled this price. So a lot is happening in terms of once that front row seat gets sold, everyone else is fair game to raise their prices, and that's what we're seeing right now. So these, if you remember in the earlier video, if you scroll back a few minutes, there were plenty of seats here and they're kind of disappearing, and now we're seeing even higher prices up here. So I think what's happening is this game is hot and tickets are going off the board pretty quick. So it's a good lesson that if a game is, we talked about this, good competition game, good team coming into town, stars coming into town, you're going to see prices go up when tickets get actually sold. Okay, so that sums up this section, this timing, and I'll be back later this evening to finish up. Okay, we are back for the last segment. It's close to 6 p.m., December 27th. And I want to continue with our Brooklyn Nets breakdown. We're getting into the last few minutes here, so I'll do this pretty quick. We're down to 201 listings. We started with 362 at 9:30 a.m. I'm going to bring over our picture that's going to kind of break down everything for you. Most of the tickets were sold, and this event is selling quick. Instead of waiting until 6:30 or 7, I decided to do it now because I think a lot of tickets will be sold by that time. You could find some steals, and you should always watch for a few weeks leading up to the event you want to go if you want to do a last minute attempt. So this is how it looks. Okay, so we started at 9:30. We're sold on the double A, and then this one kind of held and then went up a little bit because this guy sold. This floor seat dropped and then sold for the next time I saw it. This one held its own because these two are the only ones left on that floor level. And that VIP section, we're talking sold. Most of these got sold in the section 1. However, the best one I found was this one, 692. 692 wasn't selling in row B all the way down to 399. So someone bought this at we'll say 800. And now this row behind is 399. So that's quite a bit of a savings. So go one row back, and we got a huge savings there. Then it's sold. Then we're talking about a drop off here, and it's sold. And then those upper rows sold as well. This one tried to raise it up because a lot of those sold, and now he's come back down at 180. So we're talking 213, and actually I believe I just saw 201. So the tickets are going off the shelf pretty quick, and that pretty much sums it up. So there is a chance. You got to find the right game to do this to. You go against a team like the Bucks. It's a lot more difficult than, let's say, I don't know, Portland, some cross-country rival that won't produce as many sales. And you just have to make a good decision. So this sums up the tickets at the last minute. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video. And I will see you in the next one.